Good morning, cyber friend. It's the Midi Man coming at you again from Walker's Music. Yet another word for the day, Friday morning edition, and like we say, we give God the praise and all the glory, and we thank Him for life, health, and strength. In other words, it could have been the other way, people. But I rose this morning, saw a brand new day, one that I've never seen before, one that I never will see again, and we thank Him. And we thank God for all of the cyber friends. You know who you are. Matter of fact, to the co-laborers of the gospel in the Bible study and blog talk radio, you know who you are. Matter of fact, I don't mind giving y'all your honor. And as a matter of fact, some of you go through great lengths to get to the Bible study, and I just want to say it is well appreciated, and God got something for you. In other words, God got a blessing coming your way. We are learning and we are exploring the Word of God. At the title of my video this morning, it said, giving God our best. Giving God our best. Now, people, I want to say something, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel small or too large. I'm just stating a truth of the matter. When David assigned the singers, and David created the instruments of worship for the temple worship, there came Solomon, his son, that built the temple, and the dedication of the temple, the glory of God. There was so much giving and sacrifice that took place in this here celebration until the power of God fell. You can check this out in 2 Chronicles 7 chapter, verses 1 through 6. If you don't believe me, man, just check it out. That the Spirit of God, the glory of God was so thick in the temple, it filled the whole temple. The priests and the musicians, they could not even stand up because of the perfected praise, and giving God our best was at hand. I want to say something, and like I said, I'm not saying this to make anyone feel small or too large, but I'm just going to give credit where credit is due. I had two of my former, I don't like to say former, I just say it like this, two of my choir members that came to the studio to Walker's Music yesterday. I played for them almost 20 years, and we are still, even though I'm not with them at the church at this here present time, but nevertheless I still play for them on just about every occasion that I'm allowed to. If I have it, if I'm able to, I always help them out, and which is Pleasant Grove AME Church, and I was there for almost 20 years. And two of the choir members, two of the choir members came up. They came to the studio yesterday, wanted me to help them prepare for Sunday, because this Sunday, if the Lord says so, this will be the church anniversary at Pine Grove, and they will be the guest church on program on Sunday afternoon, in which I'm going to have to play for them. And and I'm going to call their name, Christine and Vera. They know who I'm talking about. Christine and Vera. They came to the studio on yesterday in the heat of the day. And y'all done seen Walker's Music. That's an old mobile home of mine I turned into my main project studio. And believe you, it can get very, very hot in there, especially in the middle of the day in the summer. But nevertheless, they came. It was right around 1 o'clock, and we was in there until just about 3. Had a blast. I mean, Christine and Vera, I so enjoyed them and getting them prepared. Now, let me tell you what they was doing. They wasn't there for their help. They were there preparing for Sunday. They wanted to get the songs as best as they can. In other words, therefore they came to me in the studio, and we worked. I likes that. Now, I got a Pine Grove. We always, matter of fact, we're going to rehearse tonight. We always rehearse in the studio, because in the studio I'm more at freedom to do. I got everything in there that I need in order to make the choir sound the best they can sound, and I let them hear themselves. I record them where I can let them hear themselves, and therefore they can know exactly how they sound. It's all about giving God our best, people. If you're not going to give God your best praise, don't do it. Now, I know that might sound a little harsh, but no. First of all, people, if you are not gifted, and if you don't have that gift and talent as a singer, now I'm not saying that you got to sound like Whitney Houston, because that's not but one Whitney Houston and she's gone. There's not but one Anita Baker. But you must at least be able to carry a tune. If you can do that, but make certain that you give God your best. I'm not trying to say that you got to sound like James Brown or Elvis Presley. You give God your best, and you at least be able to sing. People are praise team, choir, whatever you want to call it. A choir stand is for singers. Now, if you can't carry a tune, why are you in the choir? Well, God knows the heart. Yes, He does. But I see in the Bible also what God requires, perfected praise. He said, and musicians will skill. Now, every musician don't play like the other. God doesn't require that. But at least you ought to be able to play. You cannot call yourself a musician. And then I'm going to say this here, and I know a lot of musicians don't like to play in certain keys. And that's all right. We all got our favorite keys. One of my favorite keys is the key of F and B flat. But guess what? I can play in the rest of the keys too. You ought to be able to play in all the keys. All 12 of them. You should be able to play in all 12 keys. But now you can have your favorite key, but you should be able to play in all 12 to call yourself a fully well-rounded musician. Or I should say skillful. That's what I want to say. And I'm just going to tell this, I want to say this again. Christine and Vera, we certainly enjoyed y'all on yesterday. And I don't know whether y'all see this video or not, but I'm just letting you know that God saw what you done. God saw what you did. In other words, you can take the English grammar any way you want it, but see, God knows what you're talking about. God saw your actions, and guess what? You ought to show some sign. See, what y'all did yesterday showed that y'all are very interested in not sounding any kind of way to go to a company and be singing in front of a company and sound any kind of way. And it shows that you went the extra mile to get it perfected, and God's going to accept it. No matter what happens Sunday, God will already accept it because He looked at your heart. He saw your action. Actions speak louder than words. Y'all came seeking someone to try to help you get where you need to be, which in this case was me. Y'all sought me out because y'all knew me. I've had played for y'all for almost 20 years. You know I know exactly where you need to be. Like I told Christine. Chris, you remember, I let you went on and sing. But I knew automatically where you needed to be. I already knew that. I played for y'all long enough. I knew exactly what key you needed to be in. And that's a lot of times, a lot of singers, they think that they can just go out and sing and blab something out there, start in them kind of, but you got something called range. And if your range, if you got a song that, you know, from your lowest note to your highest note, which is your tessitura or the range, if the range of a song in a certain key, take for instance, if it's on the E in the second octave, if you got to hit that, it's your highest note. And if you cannot hit that note, and your voice start to strain or crack before you get to that high E, we need to change the keys to bring it down to make your highest note be maybe the D, or maybe the D flat, or the C. We got to change the keys. So therefore, if you need to come down by 3 semitones from E, so that means you come down from E to what? D flat. Then that means if that song is in the key of A, and you having a problem reaching that, you got to go down 3 semitones, meaning what? You got to play that song in F sharp or G flat, 3 semitones. So that's just a little old something I threw out there. But I'm just saying, to Christine and Vera, God saw your effort, and guess what? He has already accepted it. And everything, whatever happened Sunday, He's pleased because you sought out knowledge. God rejects us when we reject knowledge. And when people do not take advantage of people that can help them get to a certain level, they're without excuse. They're without excuse. You can't excuse that kind of action. But remember, we must give God our best. We should want to give God our best. Why? Why you say that, Mitty Man? Because He gave us His best. He gave us His darling Son, Jesus Christ, who hung, bled, and died on that cross, that I might have a right to the tree of life. I don't have to go to hell anymore. You heard what I said. I don't have to go to hell, but now I can choose to go there. But I don't have to go. God gave us His best. So whatever we do in return, we should give Him our best. In other words, the gift our talents and gifts that God gave to us is our gift from Him. What we do with those talents and gifts is our gift back to Him. So we should also give God our best. That's all I'm saying. So remember what I always say, people. Jesus, when He went to Calvary, He said it is finished. So in other words, if Jesus said it is finished, it's finished. Don't worry. And to my sister Tina, don't worry about people. You cannot never worry about people, because people with you one moment, they're against you another moment. You can't worry about that. You go on. If God has told you something, you don't need any more verification from anybody else. See, I know in whom I believe. I know what God has told Mitty Man, and Mitty Man going to do that regardless of who stand by Mitty Man or who don't. I'm going to stand with God. God's word is final. And I don't need any more confirmation from any folks. And neither do you. So remember that. And this is Mitty Man saying, whatever you get into, if God isn't in it, you make certain that you come out of it, because it's going to come to nothing. This is Mitty Man saying, until the next video, the next Bible study, peace. Goodbye.